shows you.
Hey, let's come together so we can get some stuff done. I want to talk about the schedule first of all.
Yeah, thank you.
So we are beyond the halfway point of the semester, and we have a lot left to do, and it's the type of thing that keeps me up at night. So I want to kind of schedule some things to make sure that we're ready. So first of all, we're going to do a pickup shot for Grinsley tonight for those who want to come. Jason is the stand-in for Noah, who can't be there. So Jason will have the mask on and then the hoodie.
Jacket, I'm gonna try to get it from David.
So try. You gotta make
No, I
sure.
know, I texted him, we should be coming in the parking lot pretty soon here.
Okay. And then so we're gonna get that shot at the bar tonight. What is the bar? What is the name of the bar?
Oh, at Bartenders Union. It's at downtown Gilroy.
Okay, so it's, can you text me
Yeah.
or put it in the Discord as
I'll do
well?
that right now.
And it's gonna be just after dark. And let's see,
7:30.
is that the call time?
Yeah, 7:30 is when we start the setup.
There should not be much to set up
No,
because
it should be very quick shoot.
we're in a very public place with a mask
Mhm.
and a knived
So we gotta make it
monster.
very fast.
So
It's gonna be very fun though. It's gonna be very fun.
7:18 is sunset, so 7:30, 7:45 is when we can shoot. And it should be something we can do very quickly. Tomorrow is a very big film. Sierra's making her directing debut. It's Braulio script, Distant. It is a split screen. We did a little bit of split screen with the film Three Wishes last week, but this entire film is split screen. And so we're shooting one scene, and then actually there are three scenes. We're shooting three halves of a scene, and then the other three halves of the scene, and then in post we'll composite them together. But that is tomorrow. The call time is 10 here. The screenplay has us, or the shooting schedule has us out by 6. Hopefully we can even make it sooner than that. We are going to, when we wrap here today, or start working on the first set. So anyone wants to stay and do set design with us, you can. And that's tomorrow. Andre and Sierra's friend, what is her? Noel are the actors. And do we see anyone else at all?
No, it's just them two.
Just the two of them are in it. So Andre, a lot of you've seen, is, you know, great actor, and Noel's completely new to our program. So fresh blood. So that's tomorrow. Now, next Thursday, a week from today, is a very big deal to me. So I'm hoping that you will all be here early on Thursday, because John Lawtonhill is coming in to observe me and this class. We're going to do a lighting exercise where Tim and I are going to ask us to set up 3 different sets. One is going to be horror, one will be comedy, and then one might be film noir. And we don't want to touch the lights or anything at all. So we are going to guide you, but you will be setting up the lights and setting up the camera. We're going to have the red stationary on sticks. We're going to set a living room scene with a couch and a painting behind it, and then we'll have 2 people who are watching a movie at night together, and then we're going to light them for 3 different genres. So please come, please participate. So sitting and relaxing and watching is not what we're hoping for next Thursday. So we're gonna light it, and everyone gets to handle lights. Everyone gets to participate. People needs to set up the red and all of that. So Tim and I are just going to be serving as guides are ready to ask questions, but it's a hands-on class or activity. So that's Thursday. Please be on time, please participate, because it makes us look good for the administration. Then next Thursday, we are still figuring it out. Our screenplays are done, but we're trying to schedule. We have 2 screenplays scheduled, Boss Baby, and Sauce, and Sierra, I think, is going to be directing Boss Baby, and Daniel is going to be directing Sauce. They're too much to do them both in Friday. Well, I think we thought we could do that, but now we have to, when Tim gets here, we have to figure out, is one going to be moved to Saturday? Are we going to try to shoot 1.5 and then finish the other one? Or it's going to depend on when we can get actors and the space and all of that. So we're going to figure out scheduling for Boss Baby and Sauce. It will be all day Friday, maybe into Friday night, and possibly Saturday, depending on some things. But 2 comedies, 2 very, very different comedies. And you get a laugh at Tim and me, because I'm playing a child, an infant.
Oh my God.
And I'm gonna make a total fool of myself. And then Tim is playing a psychiatrist who's a total slob and will Sauce. He's gonna be making a fool of himself too. So if you want to come laugh at us, please come join. Ask Sierra or Daniel about the positions, camera, lighting, audio, all the stuff. So then the following week, we're shooting Sophie's film, The Gray Painting. I think we're not going to have a Thursday class. I think we're going to shoot part of her movie on Thursday and then finish it on Friday. She just lost one of her main actors, so we're scrambling to find somebody. It's an older gentleman, probably in the 50s or 60s, and so we're trying to find a couple of people. But Sophie will be here tomorrow morning, and that is what we're shooting the following week. Alex, are we still shooting yours on Saturday?
Yes.
So I have this space reserved for Saturday.
Yep.
And so we need to start thinking about that. I don't have anything for you yet. I just
do like a shot list, but I'm working on. I texted it to you a while ago.
okay. Let me check again.
Okay.
Remind me when we're done,
Yeah.
because I get so many things. I'm at this point in the semester, I'm feeling overwhelmed.
It's no problem. I have it on.
Yeah. And then the next couple of projects that will happen before the showcase. I got your screenplay today and I started to look at it. We have more to do, and I don't know who you've cast for the parts. I did reserve the nursing building for the space. Did you misspell it, or did you mean it to be BABB?
Saved under that name.
Okay, so it is baby.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. I'll fix it when I'm reformatting and stuff, but I have some things I need to ask you about and talk to you about. I have Vigilante Vendetta, which Emrys wrote and Tony is directing. That's on April 25th. I'm hoping it will be a faster shoot, because the next day we have the showcase and Tim and I are going to be stressed out of our minds. And then showcase is over and we have 3 big projects. At that point, after the showcase, I don't think we'll have Thursday classes anymore. They will be used to prep and pick up scenes and talk about projects. Remember, if you're not directing one of the class projects, you need to be making one of your own projects this semester. So that's when Tim and I and others will be available to talk and such. But the last question is May 2nd and 3rd. And we're still working on casting. We know where it's going to be. It'll be a May 2nd and 3rd. It's a Friday and Saturday shoot. We could even technically do Thursday, one scene, Friday, another scene, and Saturday, another.
If that makes it line up.
It'll depend on the actors, but let's keep that available.
Yeah.
Same thing, Marty. So, on, the last 2 weeks, May 9th and 10th, and May 16th and 17th, we have Devil's Game. And, we are wrapping on the 17th. Nothing may be shot afterwards, so everything has to be done. This is our epic film, the longest thing we've ever shot, here. So, and no more red paint for you after the 17th. So a lot of projects. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and really it's multiple days for several of these films. So lots of films left to do. Devil and space travel and murder and babies to sauce and so all kinds of interesting things. But know that I am stressing that we have, Tim and I have a lot going on. Oh, wow. Leaving me hanging. So much going on. But next Thursday is a big deal for us. So please be here early. Please participate. Put away your phones and laptops and all that stuff, and let's just have fun doing the lighting that day. And then we have a couple of big projects. Okay, now that you're here, Tim, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
So Boss Baby and Sauce have a combined almost 15 pages of screenplay. So we thought we could do it in one day, and we now no longer think we can.
Okay.
So you're acting in Sauce, I'm acting in Boss Baby. What is your availability next Friday?
I took the entire day off to
Oh,
be
okay.
here for Sauce.
So maybe we shoot Sauce first
I'd love that.
in the morning, and then we take a break for lunch, head over to the office, shoot what we can, and then finish on Saturday.
Jason and I have a hard out on Saturday at 5.
Oh, but there's no night shoot, so it all has to be day anyways. I don't want to go later than that on a Saturday either, so let's do that.
Okay.
So let's shoot Sauce first here, then we will take our lunch break and then head over to CMAP. Shoot there in the afternoon until it's a good time to stop. Then we will finish Saturday morning.
Yep, actually.
We're forced him to eat wings after 10 in the morning.
Okay, so I will tweak the schedule and put the specifics in the next couple hours. You're gonna give me Nico, you're gonna give me the place and location, or text me, right?
It's already it's on the film shoot.
Yeah, but if you can text it to me, that'd be great. Okay, so good. We now have the schedule going. We're ready to go. Any questions about the schedule? Nope. Okay, Marty, surprise. You're gonna lead, you and Daniel are going to lead this lesson. Do you even know what we're doing today?
Downtown?
What?
Downtown.
Yeah,
Oh.
lenses and follow. So we're gonna get somebody to sit there.
Chicken?
And then we need to bring in a little more equipment. And that means everyone needs to get up and participate. You need to set up the red and then.
You want us to, do we wait to set up the red so everyone can watch?
I think that's. See, Daniel, I showed him your picture and then.
What picture?
Of your hair, and this is what they did to me instead.
Looks
got-
nice. What do you mean?
You gotta let it grow longer so you can Do the,
Slick.
yeah.
Like
Unfortunately.
pomade.
She's like, look, I'm cutting 2.5 inches off your hair, and I'm like, okay, cool,
Where'd you go?
super cuts or whatever.
It's still long. Technically,
No, it's,
yeah.
My problem was they made it long, but then like, it would like hang down here, like it was like obviously you need to comb it over, Tim, but so I was sick of having the weird hair. I'm sorry. Wait,
that's good. I think it's good.
I think it's fine, could be better. Could have more hair right here, so more hair, see? Here's my new cut. Hopefully Sauce didn't need my. hair.
Right, he decided to,
Hey, by the way,
Skip
for
to the-
Sauce, what am I wearing?
Okay, then.
I think it's just like a.
Am I getting all like,
Right, but
So-
am I getting sauce to everywhere?
you
Can
are
you-
getting sauce.
can we put the red, can we put the red on the camera?
You want us to set it up for everyone to see or?
Just so that, no, we're filming Tim.
Okay, okay.
And we're gonna start with the 25. And we want to plug HDMI into the monitor,
Pointed
that you
at the
could show-
camera setup.
yeah,
Me.
the camera and the monitor behind it. Just watch out for my. So explain what you're doing as you do it.
Removing the little blankie.
I meant-
Blinky removed.
Blankie removed.
And this is the thing that you and Daniel are doing.
If we can get the plate.
So I was. part of my video lesson.
You have to pour it?
I have my keys.
You have
Better, better. Keys off.
Daniel, why do you need a quarter?
We're gonna tighten the plate. The only thing that fits in the.
That's the man.
Can we super real?
Did you get that one?
There's a billion holes, even I get them wrong
Take something else.
Yeah.
multiple times.
I'll finish.
Might have gotten.
I got it wrong twice on the Sony and that happened.
I've never gotten it right.
You need to go to the bathroom.
Let's look at the stuff. Okay.
I think I panicked and had Noah do it on
You good?
Sony.
Hey,
Yeah, you did.
So
Go sit here for a
the
second.
Marty is using a quarter to tighten the plate screws. It is that provides kind of the perfect tension. A screwdriver can make it too tight, you can strip it. But the quarter is a nice tension to get it tight and yet allow it to be undone at the end of the day.
If I don't have a quarter, what should I use?
I like using a key, but I like using the butt end of my key.
So like this part right here, right, Grant? Because if you use this part in here, you'll bend your key. I've seen people try to do this and then mangle their keys. If you use if you have a key that's like that, you have an edge that you can tighten.
This is the longest I've ever kept a quarter, by the way,
Really?
like 2 days. I just lose it.
Right, did.
Did you get
I
that?
don't know if it's
Perfect.
in it.
Okay. This particular plate we mount from the rear.
This I also have never gotten on the first try.
You got it.
First try.
Nice.
So the click means
Just had to
it's,
point it
it's safe.
Got it on camera.
The red clip on the side shows that it is, yeah, go touch it.
Thank you, Emirates.
That shows
you,
that
hand
it's
model.
locked in, but then Marty, there's a knob on the opposite side that she tightens so that the camera's locked in.
Mhm.
Okay, so now, we want to do first a lens swap, because I want to start with the 25. Actually, you know what? Let's put on the 18.
Okay.
I'll grab that.
Where's the?
The,
Grant, I'm gonna step this way so I
Okay.
can.
So everyone can see what's.
so in film, production, we use prime lenses. That's a specific focal length, 18 millimeter. That is a very wide lens. As the number gets larger, it gets more zoomed in. So we have an 18, do we have a 14 in there too?
Smaller.
that's the macro lens. It's the widest one has the big giant hood on it. Yeah, that's it. What is it?
This is the 14.
14.
Is that the 14?
Yeah, 14. So we have a 14 millimeter, which is gonna be incredibly wide angle. It's so wide that it will have a little bit of a fisheye look, and we'll take a look at it as soon as we can. But here, watch this lens swapping procedure.
I'll loosen this, what would you call this?
Collar.
The collar, okay, the collar. Then the button that releases the lens, but you wanna hold on to the lens because it will just pop out if we don't. Twist lens, but don't take it off until your AC is ready with the back of this lens. He's gonna swap me this, so we cannot reveal the sensor for too long. And we did forget a fundamental step. I didn't say got it. I should have done that.
And that is so that you make sure that someone doesn't release something before the other one is picked up.
Got it.
Yep. And that's just a good habit. Okay, so now we can't show you yet because the camera's not powered. So let's power up the camera.
Battery.
Remember that we use the Anton Bauer batteries in and with they have gold mounts. Gold mounts have the 3 pins. That's the Anton Bauer, show the back. And those are the 3 pins. So it's got a locking system. It's very solid. And so professional cameras always use the gold mounts. And you can see it will lock in. You'll see that when the pins go in, it will click tight. You know that we're ready.
Yeah, see?
There's the click, so we're good to go.
Every day.
Power up the red. And we do everything from the menu, but to power up, we use the red button on the right-hand side. Hold it for just a second, and then you'll see that it starts to boot up. And if you watch the monitor, you'll see that it's like a computer. It's booting up like a computer will. The nice thing is,
Got a
is the
great
fan
background
start
shot
to
of
turn
that
on.
phone.
So that you know that the camera's in its
Oh, man, that's
startup
amazing.
mode.
You know, he's like watching, like. Temple Run.
Yeah. Subway Surfers.
Subway Surfers
Yeah.
and Family Guy clips right now.
With an AI voiceover.
That's what Ashton certainly is.
Yeah,
doing.
that's
You see him in the
Ashton's
background. We interrupted him.
watching TikTok.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, sure, dude.
let's pan the camera towards our subject, Tim. And in just a second, it's going to boot up. Is the TV monitor on the bottom?
Hello.
Hello, Marty.
I didn't do it.
Move.
Power, actual power.
Yeah.
If somebody else wants to move the Sony around, they can, by the way. I'm not committed to,
You're not committed?
I'm not married to it.
You're not committed to this thing?
Yeah. I did line it up, so we see the red, what the red's doing, and then we'll see the director's monitor. So
I'll treat you better.
Look at that lens. You got a dusty old lens right there.
Okay, this is one of the things that our DPs don't do as much as I would like.
Jason.
You have a green face?
We need to use
No.
the
So
torpedo to clean dust off, and if that is not sufficient,
Yeah.
we need the green case.
watch out. Remember, you have an HDMI cable.
The
Green
green
case.
case.
We don't have it.
Green case.
Yeah, I brought it.
It's right here, green case.
I've been pointing at it. I,
Say something, no, just one.
what?
My rest
Look
of
at that. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, he likes rest. Not as much as me. but
One stays in here and one stays.
He's obsessed with One Piece right now. That's his deal.
Now,
He's been
I'm
asking me who's stronger.
I always wondered this.
And,
straight to napkin, straight to lens.
oh, yeah, he loves Although, did you see did you watch AEW?
You start in the middle, very small circular motion,
From last night?
and you go wider and wider until you have the whole thing. And you inspect it and check it again.
You guys getting this? You getting this?
I am getting this.
That's not even.
Very nice.
Very nice.
But, I mean, all the like blood stuff is gross, but.
Good, I think.
So is that white or is that like a?
It's a non-abrasive,
Oh.
it's designed specifically for high quality lenses.
I couldn't watch it. I was like, okay, I'm like, that's cool, but okay.
There are some matches where I'm like, the blood, and then there's some where I'm like. This is.
It's a lot
You-
better.
Can you
That's,
blow
I
the,
think, the
yes,
main
can
issue
you blow the
with,
fan? Every time we start up, that should be done. Every time we put on the lens, we check, we inspect it. Okay, so
Alright, I got it. Yeah.
let's look at the image. Can you,
But I don't.
I think, can you focus on just him? And then we're gonna see like.
Thank you. Watch out, watch out.
And so from now on, we are not going to move the tripod. We're just going to get a different image by swapping lenses. So you can show the, so right now Marty has the edging on to make sure that Tim is in focus, and clearly he is. And
I'll magnify it. So I can get a closer shot of the details.
the bottom button on the monitor is edging and the top button is magnify. And magnify essentially like it zooms in, because that's what you want to do, is zoom in to get focus. So
Now, I have a question. If you magnify and hit record, what happens?
it does not, that's a function for pulling focus. It's not for recording. It is the, and by the way, if you can see the monitor right now, you see the red box. That is the part of the image we're seeing right now. That does not record, and it is,
Well, it does record, but it records the full frame, right?
right,
So
Well, I
you might
mean-
think this is the perfect framing, but if Marty zoom like
magnify off.
demagnifies,
It's a really good framing too.
this is the actual image you're capturing. So it would be quite shocking to be like, oh, I thought I was doing a close up.
This, by the way, right now, the lens where Tim is sitting is probably about 5 feet away. So you saw how wide it is, right? Let's go back to the frame. And show the frame. And you can see that we can see all the way from the window to the painting.
Whoa.
So it's really, really wide, okay? So this is a 14 millimeter. We are gonna swap to the 25 millimeter now, so we're gonna do a lens swap. Anyone who wants to help Marty,
What does the number signify, Grant?
it is the larger the number, the more essentially zoomed in, the tighter the shot is. The smaller the number, the wider it is. So we,
By the way, everybody, I brought up that magnification recording thing because I've done that in the past where I was like, why are all my shots different than what I remember shooting? And I had it magnified. I wasn't using red, but I was using my Black Magic and made the mistake.
red puts an image on the.
Let them
on
see
it,
the
so you
lens.
can't help it. What's
Black Magic did it too, and I didn't see it. for my
Okay.
mistakes.
Yeah, that's good.
Ready?
No pressure. I didn't say God.
For
Blue.
lens cap?
For lens cap.
Got it. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have done, you wanna focus?
Focus.
Make sure I'm not frame.
So we have not, the camera and Tim have not moved at all.
Dude, I got that in
And
one.
you can see, we can no longer see the window, we can no longer see the painting. So going from 14 to 25 has drastically changed the image.
Really big.
Um,
my god.
So, very, very different. By the way, I'm gonna say this again, zoom lenses are terrific for a lot of shooting. They're very convenient, makes it easy, quick. You have a lot of options all built in with a quick spin of the lens. But in filmmaking, I don't know of any professional filmmakers who shoot with zoom lenses. They shoot on primes. Why? Why do you think a prime is a better option for filmmaking than it is for filming a documentary or news broadcasts or sporting events? The prime specializes in one focal length. The glass is just better. It does a 25 millimeter better than any zoom lens can. And that's what you want. You can prepare for it. You can truck your camera, you can set things up so that you get the exact framing you want. But if you're at a basketball game, the players are coming running at you, you wanna go wider, you go, from maybe 100 millimeters down to 25, and as they're running away from you, you do the opposite, so you're changing your focal length.
And with filmmaking, we plan every shot, right? So we know what's gonna happen. Documentary or news, we're zooming in and out to capture something that we don't know what will be planned or not. So that's a real reason. The other thing to know about zoom lenses or variable lenses are your focal length and your distance of your zoom can affect your f-stops. Certain lenses, you'll drop about 2 stops when you zoom in. So everything's darker. You need to consider that if you're using a zoom lens.
Okay, let's switch to a 35. So again, camera and Tim are not moving at all. We're just changing 10 millimeters, going from a 25 to a 35. We should have marked. I should have made, I could see the whole window of the whole painting, and I should have said, now we can see the corners or whatever, but.
Here, I'll be the mayor.
We can see Noah, we can't see Noah, we can see Noah.
He just knows eventually.
Yeah. Like nothing against them.
No, I'm good.
We can somewhat see Noah.
Okay, so
Either sit or just walk.
Marty's going to fix the zoom, the focus. So we know Tim is perfectly in focus, and then when Marty takes off the magnify. Oh, you have, you can see how much tighter. We're now in about a medium, and I think before we were in a medium wide before, so we have gone a whole a big change.
The note is like, look at our frame of reference just in the shot. What's in the shot versus what's gonna be not in the shot this time. You pan.
So let's put Tim in the middle. This is not a rule of thirds.
Yeah.
Let's just put his eyes at the upper third and then Tim in the middle. Okay, so we now can see, we can't even see the corners of the room anymore, but this is a medium. This is from a little above his waist, and now let's put on the 50. So we're now gonna go up 15 millimeters from 35 to the 50. And we'll see how different this looks. I need to move, yeah, so can you take over? I'll move. Hey, Santi, can you come real quick while I grab? some stuff?
All right, and now we have the 50, and we'll see what it looks like. I'm gonna stay in the same position. The dusty lens.
This is the Jason special right here.
Dusty.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a must. Very pre-order in particular. So we have to hold it, yes. Tim, you're wearing your Strauss, right?
That looks horrifying.
Ah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
It was like a scam. It looked like poltergeist. Yeah.
It was just like, yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
Like a rolling only should have happened.
Now he looks like Marlon Brando. Last two or something. Yeah, it's awesome, right? That'd be so good, so crazy. It's like you're in such a media existence.
Are you in the Twilight Zone?
We're all in. Now we are. So look at it, with the 50, notice that like no is no longer in the shot, we can't even really see the thing that you hang your coat on.
Coat hanger.
Correct. Again, now I'm an MCU, right? Like, so it's pretty much chest up. At proper framing where we went from a medium to an MCU, medium close-up. At the 50. All right. What's our next lens that we have? I forget all his lenses.
We have a 85.
Let's do 85. Add another,
Yeah.
what, this will be 35.
Extreme.
35 millimeters.
I'm getting them lenses.
So when you're buying lenses or glass, you can buy a prime kit, which will have about 5 different lenses, give you a bunch of different focal lengths.
How much is a prime kit?
It depends on how much you want to spend and how much good glass it is. You could probably get a prime kit for $1,000, probably not gonna be the best glass. But some lenses can cost up to $10,000, a lens.
How noticeable is like lower quality glass?
It's noticeable.
It's extremely.
Especially the people in the know. I mean,
Yeah.
my mom's not ever gonna notice, but, already we can see.
Never should say.
Used it once.
I think some people.
This semester?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see it.
Actually, for the old. Used it what? The classical war.
Alright, so Marty opened the iris on the lens.
Yeah.
So, hey, we went from MCU to what?
Close up.
Yeah, CU, right? Close up.
See you.
Easy, always framing's easy to remember, like, right? Extreme close up, medium,
Right there?
yeah, I go. That's extreme close up, right?
Extreme.
And I, yeah.
Do it, really.
Like right now.
Well, right
Yeah,
now
you
it's
just stretch
extreme
it all the
close
way
up,
up.
yeah. Any.
It starts to cut off pieces of the face.
Yeah, when you cut off your head, but here, if my eyes are on the upper third, you can see it's cutting off my head a little bit. Also noting, like, note our focal length, right? Like, the background is much more out of focus than every lens, the closer you get. Also, if you look close down the, iris, you can, and if we shot more light into my face, it would help, blur the background, so that's it. I think this is a really cool lens that should be used way more. Not enough close-ups. I mean, we get lazy and we're like, oh, you know what, we'll just punch in. And this gets you a really cool stylized, emotional close-up. All right, does he have another one? Yeah,
Macro.
Doing-
macro.
yeah, let's do the macro.
Doing this kind of close up, versus just 25, spread up your face.
Yeah.
Is there like a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference. The bend in the glass can affect how it looks and how it feels, even a little bit. So the 25 up here will actually still kind of give you a little bit of a wider berth. It's not that noticeable, but it can be noticeable. And like, you ever see where like you go really close with the fisheye lens and get into the focal length? It distorts the person's head. So if you look at, even if you look at these lenses, you can look at the glass and notice how it's bent. Like the first lens that we used, the 15, right? Was it 15? What was the first lens?
14.
The 14 is almost a bubble, right? Like it's a fisheye almost. Versus this one, if you come and look at if you come in front, you're gonna look at the actual glass, look at the bend, it almost bends inward.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Great shots.
You.
Great shots.
Yeah.
That pen was crazy.
All right, let's do the macro lens then.
Right, macro. Oh, yeah, that's what.
Macro lens is gonna be the closest you can. This is like, get ready to see the pores on my nose.
Oh, boy.
Huh?
Like, I personally like the telephone, like 85.
That's.
I don't know.
I think it's a stylistic choice and I think it's a really intriguing choice. I just think that like, what we end up doing is our utility is we're trying to go as fast as possible. So we tend to just say, hey, we're shooting in 8K and we'll just punch in. So because we're low, no budget filmmaking, I think that if we could plan appropriately, we would use those lenses better. Bless you. Yeah, so when you direct, think about that, budget in your time, but when you're directing, you know that like we lose time more than anything.
What do we have
Now
now?
on the macro.
This is not,
Wait, did you put the 135?
we did
We
not put the
haven't done
135, no.
Where did you go from?
We just did the 80, right?
Yeah, we did the 85, this is,
Yeah, so the macro is only used for extreme close-ups.
Yep.
yeah, this is not a,
What?
Yeah, this is.
That's a macro.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, as in it has to be physically close.
Right.
That's right,
So
okay.
if I was doing. If I was doing this, you can get really close to my eye.
And be in focus is the main thing. Is the focal length.
Grant, I'm gonna put a flashlight on your face just so the lights. Okay, striking.
There it is.
Whoa.
Do we see everything? And yeah,
See
it's
your
crazy,
pores.
but also like,
Ooh.
look, yeah, put on the edging and show us. Show us like.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
The eye.
That is a-
If you want that extreme, look, like Marty can choose to have the eyelashes in focus or out of focus. That's what the macro does. Hey.
Sorry, I'm
Alright,
shining
now
the
show
light
us the
directly
shot.
in your face.
Oh, that's it. So now we know Grant's, this is for extremely detailed, cool looking shots there. with the macro. Okay, what was the? I
We need the
forgot what
135,
lens-
I didn't
I
realize.
forgot what lenses you had, Grant, so.
The 135?
Oh, this one can.
So the macro lens, which is underutilized in our program, I think. It's for showing things extreme close-up. A lot of lenses need at least 18 inches to 24 inches
To be.
to be in focus. If you get closer than that, you can't get in focus.
Yeah.
The macro allows you to get right close to something and keep things in focus.
In my corporate gigs, I used a macro a lot to like when doing product shoots. And you want to show a close-up of say a garlic clove or
I've always wanted.
a carrot or.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Look at that big boy.
Well, that I'm giving practical life experience, Geronimo.
That one's not on my bucket list.
Yeah. This is a 135?
Yes.
So again, come and look at the glass in the front, like I told you before, look how it bends. You can actually come and see the lens and see how it differs
Alright.
from the last one.
Once you put it in, I got
No,
a
Ben, from
text thing because I had a
85
feeling they'd
to
talk about it.
135, right? This
If
is
we want another one though, I shall indulge. The one more for the people that.
And
need it.
just know that like cleaning the lens, if you scratch this will wreck the lens.
No pressure, no pressure.
Nope. No, I'm saying Marty's doing it right. So I'm just saying, don't use your shirt, don't use anything other than appropriate lens cleaner.
I've been doing it wrong. this whole
Yeah, of
time.
course you have, Geronimo. Have you seen anything you've shot?
So, but again, the camera has not moved. Tim has not moved. And yet we went from being able to see the window in the picture in the 14 to now being so close on Tim. We'll see as soon as Marty's done.
I think that's his nose.
Yeah. Oh, you need to blow your nose.
Stress.
Oh.
This is like
You will a little bit. It's like that Mac commercial.
His
right?
nose is out of focus now.
Good.
Look at that.
Dude.
So, here is just a lens swap. We can go from a 14 to a 135 and we're not even getting his chin or the top of his head. And so there are situations when you want a longer lens. So just know that when you direct one of the class projects, you have all of these lenses just sitting in the lens case, ready to be used. So you can swap lenses if you want a different look.
Because as a director, you're not only directing your actors, you're directing the vision. Like what's important, remember what's important in your frame. If we're telling a story, we're like, let's only shoot in this focal length or this lens length. There's a problem, right? Like, what am I doing with my hands? Like, if what I'm doing with my hands is important to this shot, we're not seeing it. So distance of the camera, but also lens is going to be important because, right, like Grant said, if I get closer to the camera, Marty can't get focus at this with this. You get focus there? Let's see, I'm gonna try to like. Probably not, right?
That's it.
That's as close, see? So really, right?
That's so it's for this lens, it's more than 2 feet. It's closer to 3 feet to be able to get focus. That's why a macro can come in handy.
Closer. I just wanna see what the limit
You're
is.
gonna see the limits.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Actually pretty good.
Come closer. No, that was it.
This
right
is
there.
a pretty cool shot, though. Think about this, like when we're like, oh, you know, just for like a second shot of like a reaction, this is a cool shot.
Yeah, what's the reaction?
Oh, tell a joke, Geronimo.
Whoa. That walks into a bar, right?
Or suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah, what if like sweat comes down his forehead?
That would be
135.
That would insane.
Or measure
Go like.
or spit, like, I'm gonna eat
Oh, we're
stock.
gonna use this.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Oh, dude.
Alright, make the change to the. alright,
It's your lens.
Change the stuff.
One other thing that we want to talk about today is also pulling focus. Now, Marty has been doing it on the lens, but we're going to show you a couple other options. You tend not to want to pull focus by touching the lens during a shoot. It's harder to do. Sometimes you can bump the aperture or other things. And so we have the follow focus. So
What's also interesting about the follow focus and the remote follow focus is
35.
when you're trying to focus, and you're doing a moving shot, we as camera operators and as human beings are limited in our range of motion to do the focal range. What does that mean? Picture your hand and then turn it as much as you can. You only have about 70 degrees of motion in your hand. But what if you need to go 90 degrees? 180? Well, maybe it's more than 70. I forget the exact number. But with the remote follow focus or the follow focus, it allows us to get more motion with less physical strain.
So the focus ring on lens, film lenses have deep teeth. So the
Zoom in on
follow
that.
focus can slip on, these are called rails. And that expression off the rail actually comes from filmmaking. And if you pull focus without using a follow focus, they call it off the rails. It's crazy. It's, so
That's kind of sick.
should just pop on, doesn't need a slide in.
Pops on.
Yeah, if it's loose enough.
It's amazing.
It was so good.
It's, I mean, Cena's great. I don't like. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And like, I thought it was really smart.
It's this one that loosens. This is the one that,
Okay.
this way.
I would have Cody come out and they're like singing, not say anything else.
Yeah.
Would just.
Yeah, well, not even just that, but it's like, it's literally. Cody's the new singer.
Yeah.
That's loose enough.
Yeah, well, no.
You wanna get it
on. That's my point too. I think if Cena, if they let Cena just go at Cody, say, "What's murder Cody?" on the mic, I mean, I'm saying Cena, but.
But it- yeah, and then in between that.
No, they'll hurt Cody more than anything.
So the.
You getting this right now?
Yes, I am.
Go find Dwayne Johnson.
So
This.
what this does is it allows you very comfortably to pull focus on the side without having to touch the lens. We show this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you see Marty adjusting the focus, she's doing it very comfortably. The other thing that does too is you might see some marks on the focus ring. So you can,
He moves.
Who's that? No, like. Those pictures.
so you can mark the focus ring with a dry erase pen. So if you know one mark is in one spot, you can mark it. And if another one is another, there's also stops, so you can put the stops on it, so you can go quickly from one stop to another
Why?
and hit your mark.
Why would I do that?
So that you don't have to try to focus by eye, you can set so that marks will be set, so.
So that's like on a set, when we know actors walking from one point to another.
Yeah.
And we want them to be focused in one spot, and then they move, and then we get the other focus, right?
Yep. Yep. So, the follow focus makes it so much easier to focus. You can be more precise. And so whenever we film, we have a follow focus. So that it makes it easier and more precise. However, what if the camera's on the jib? Then what do we do, Marty?
We gotta put on a remote follow focus.
Why?
Cause we can't reach this, when it's 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, if you were, filming the jib, like Jason the other day had the jib going, was Jason pulling focus? When we were using the jib?
No,
No.
wasn't Santi?
Yeah, so what we do, it is Jason's only responsibility is to frame, then we have a remote follow focus. And a remote follow focus, which is right here, we have. Our brand is the Nucleus. The Nucleus has powered controller. So this is essentially this. I just actually turned it on. And then we have powered motors that will act as the power. We're not gonna do it because I don't have all the cables and stuff. But this will power on, and that way, looking at a separate monitor, you can pull focus and from the next room or outside or whatever. So this allows us the freedom to have the camera in a place where we can't even touch it and still pull focus. So we're gonna have lessons on how to do this. I didn't bring all the cables and everything that we need. But the remote follow focus is a very helpful device.
So it's still trying this.
Um,
Or does, oh, it has
This
to be
needs,
connected.
this has to be connected. I just forgot to bring all the cables, so. Any questions? Juan or anyone here about lenses or pulling focus?
Yeah, I have a question for lenses. So you
Yeah.
mentioned there's prime. and the
What?
Prime lenses and the telephoto lenses. Like, what are the different?
So telephoto is a zoom lens.
Zoom lens, okay, so
Yeah.
it's zoom lens and prime lens?
Prime lenses are, so, I have a 24-105 zoom lens.
Okay.
That means that it can be as wide as 24, or it can be as zoomed in as 105. But I have a 25mm lens, which is very close to as wide as it goes, and it looks way better than the 24 does on the zoom lens. And we looked at an 85 and a 135, and they both look better than the zoomed in version on the zoom lens. So, the zoom lenses are convenient though. I mean, for a lot of filmmaking, it is a great way to go.
Yeah.
But the image quality is just not as good. They don't have, for example, the teeth for pulling focus.
So what about like manually moving it, or like setting up the shit?
It's more for convenience. And
Has a purpose.
yeah. So we've asked the college for 4 new cameras. We're getting new lenses for all of them. And we're getting zoom lenses for all of them. But for the
70 to 200.
yeah, but we're not getting prime lenses. But those are made for filming functions. We're gonna have concerts and graduation and
Okay, yeah.
things like, yeah. So
Large
at graduation, we have 4 different cameras, and one wants to, if Ron was on the TriCaster and he said, hey, camera 1, zoom in to the president, we might need to go in tight on a close-up, and the camera's 50 yards away. And on another camera, we want to go wide. Well, we can't swap lenses. How inconvenient would that be? So we use zoom lenses. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to make sense of this all because
Yep.
I feel like I learned a little bit about it in terms of like for photography, but that was in high school. This
Very
is
nice.
different.
Yeah.
So many different purposes for all of it.
Yeah.
So you just have to know, it's like anything, you use the right tool for the right environment, right? So if you're bought, like, you're buying your own, know what you're gonna use it for, right? So. Yeah, red's, red is great for filming films, right? But if someone's like, hey, Grant, I want you to film a wedding, are you gonna necessarily bring the red camera?
Hell no.
No. Because you would use something more like this, right?
I just shot my nephew's wedding last summer, and I used Sony's as opposed to the red. You know, you have magnifying on.
Yes.
There you go.
The slow pan.
So any other questions before we sign off? Okay, thank you at home, appreciate it. Thanks for joining, Juan. See you later.